Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us live tonight. We are going to be featuring Lisa Cox and her story about Spark the Night on my weekly show called Off Air with Amy. But I wanted to bring it to you live because we need to get the word out. There is a lot going on in the community, Lisa, and you have got a plan underway that I think is really heartfelt, right? Because you are living with Parkinson's and
Mhm.
soaring with Parkinson's in my estimation, because you're always busy getting people involved, educating people, and trying to help have an impact on our community. Talk a little bit about why this means so much to you.
Well, it means a lot to me because just bringing awareness to Parkinson's disease. And many people don't know much about the disease. I was diagnosed actually 17 years ago. And when I was diagnosed, I was in that doctor's office and he said, "You have Parkinson's disease." And I said, "Isn't that what Michael J. Fox has?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, I've I've seen him on that magazine covers, but I've never read his story." And many people, I think, have up until this day and time in the last decade have probably been in the same place. But what we're finding is that there are Parkinson's is now the fastest growing neurological disease worldwide. It
Wow.
has eclipsed Alzheimer's. And they're also finding that it's not just older men that are being affected, that there are younger people like me. I was
Right.
43 when I was diagnosed. And
Yeah.
so it's to bring awareness to that fact that younger people are being affected and more people are being affected. And it's global in nature.
And so
But
the
in terms of,
World Parkinson's Night is coming up, or day rather, is coming up April the 11th, which is this coming Saturday, correct?
yes, it's World Parkinson's Day on April 11th. That's for James Parkinson, who wrote the essay for the shaking palsy back in
Okay.
1817, I believe, 1817.
Wow.
And it's his birthday. And so
Oh,
that's why we celebrate World Parkinson's Day on this day.
and so tell me about what you guys have arranged for the Spartanburg community. And I know it's in Spartanburg, but anybody in our region is welcome to come and take part with all of this, right?
Of course, yes. I first need to back up a little bit and say how I learned about Spark the Night. It was
Okay.
actually it was February 27th or 28th of this year. I
Mhm.
was on Facebook and I saw a video, which you probably have a copy of. It's an intro video for Spark the Night. And I said, wow, look, isn't that great? It's bringing awareness. It's lighting up different buildings and monuments all over the world. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun to do? I said, if they can do this all over the world, we can do it in Spartanburg.
For
And
sure.
so I just started that day, and I said, and I reached out first to the cultural center, the Chapman Cultural Center. They have always been very supportive of those with Parkinson's, and Carlos Aguadillo, who's the artistic director for Ballet Spartanburg,
Right.
started a Dance for Parkinson's class in 2007. This was even preceding
Wow.
my diagnosis.
Wow.
And we were one of the first cities or communities in the nation to have this Dance for Parkinson's class. But we
Wow.
have continued with that. And interestingly enough, Carlos himself has developed Parkinson's. So now
Really?
the person who has started the program now is a patient among us. We're just he's being taught just like we are.
That is incredible. I did not know that. And I love Carlos. I've known him for many, many years through the ballet programs, and we remember, Lisa and I go way back. We were had little kids dancing at Ballet Spartanburg back in the day. So
Exactly. We were
much
in the
fun.
hallway waiting for ballet class to be over with, or
Yes,
creative dance, I think
yes.
it was called in those days.
And one
But
of the things,
anyway,
Lisa, that always sparked me about you, since we're using the word spark, is how you are so, first of all, you're super intelligent, but you also are a thorough researcher. I mean, I remember you just in parenting things, you would always be up on the latest trends and the latest research and information. And so I am confident that you have been the same way when it comes to Parkinson's. Can you
I
scoot
think probably more.
your thing back up again a little bit? It's
I'm
gone.
sorry.
It's okay.
There we
There you
go.
go.
Can you see my face? Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
yeah, we got you. Oh, you're good.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It's like I'm sinking in quicksand or something. Um, have I been like that with Parkinson's? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think when I first was diagnosed with Parkinson's, I didn't even know what it was really.
yeah.
For my own sake, I wanted to learn more about this disease and what I was facing, but then more importantly, just to learn more for others and to share that knowledge. And I have had the opportunity over these years to go to many conferences, even to the World Parkinson's Congress that I've attended twice.
Wow.
Um, and to hear doctors and researchers from all over the world and to just learn more about sorry about that, to
That's
learn more
okay.
about this disease has been important, and it's helpful because
Yeah.
it might not change the diagnosis, but to have information or something to begin to start learning more about is comforting in a sense.
And the things that you've learned, I know I remember talking about some various points of research along the way with you that, the more you learn about it, and for example, the dance programs that help, you can live more successfully with it, right?
Correct. Yeah. They're finding that it's much better to have a holistic, integrative approach to the disease. And sometimes the things that you think that you can't do are what you need to be doing, and that's moving. And
Yeah.
movement, as you think about it, is life. Without movement,
Yeah.
we, what are we? I mean, for the very moment of coming out of our mother's wombs, or taking that first breath, or chewing and digesting and swallowing food, that's all movement. And so movement is vitally important to life and what happens when we stop moving. So anyway, dance, it's so much fun to move to music.
Yeah.
And we've, since in addition to the dance for Parkinson's classes, we've had um, music therapists helping bring music therapy to this disease. Um, We've also have classes at the Y. There's two classes that are currently going on. Tai Chi's is
Oh.
there's a person in town that does Tai Chi for people with Parkinson's. So there's no limit to the resources that we have.
All right, I'm going to have you pull the camera down a little bit now. We're like either up or down. Which
Sorry.
way is up? No, you're good. All right, so let's talk about what's going on for this weekend, right? So there is this day, you discovered it. So this will be the first time that Spartanburg is celebrating in this way, right?
Absolutely, yes. And
Yeah.
I went from the Chapman Cultural Center to VCOM to the Spartanburg Regional Hospital to the AC Hotel to the ballpark, the fifth and third ballpark, the Y, Upstate, USC Upstate. I have had so much support. That's been so encouraging to have those um, administrators come around me and say, we want to be a part of this.
I love that. So we're talking like blue all over the place.
Blue, yes. The color
Blue.
blue. And they actually, the color of Parkinson's is gray,
Hmm.
which is not a very
It's not
happy
an
color.
exciting color, no.
It is not, and it's very, it is, we don't want to turn everything gray. So
No.
they thought, but blue would bring solidarity. It would
Sure.
show hope. It would show, just that they're together with us in this.
I love
And
that. Yeah,
it's
all
really
you
amazing. I'm sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
It's really amazing if you go to their website.
Hmm.
I don't have it off the hand, but you might be able to repeat it.
It's worldparkinsonsnight.com is what I'm looking at.
Yes. If you go to worldparkinsonsnight.com, you will get to see what they've done. They actually started it 2 years ago, but they
Okay.
have been all over the world. And I think the goal for this year was to have 1,000 different buildings in 500 or maybe 50 different locations. And I don't remember the statistic, but it's just amazing what they have done in the past and what they're doing going forward. And just for us to be a part of it, we're putting Spartanburg
I
on the
love
map.
it. Well, and it's funny because they talk about sparklet and the spark of the night, right? The spark the night idea, and here we are,
Hmm.
Sparkle City, right? It makes
Yes.
so much sense for us to jump in on this.
Yes, and to be the first doing it and to
Yes.
shine and to shine. And so I'm thankful we're going to there are or three other the county courthouse. They did not have the ability to put lights on their building, but they are all employees, and they're 50 employees, and they're all wearing
Oh,
blue, and they're very much wanting to promote Parkinson's awareness. The
I
same is
love
true
that.
with the Marriott Hotel. So all their employees are
Oh,
going to be wearing blue. So
I
we just
love
have had
that.
tremendous support, and I just am so thankful to them, but also want to encourage people to come out and see the lights that are shining bright in our
And
town.
also, we want to make sure people understand what it's for, right? That's why we're spreading the word because you're going to be driving around in Spartanburg on Friday or Saturday night and thinking, what's
What's
going
happening?
on? Yeah, and now you're
Exactly.
going to know,
Yeah, and at the ball game, is the Spartanburgers are playing the Greenville Drive,
right?
and so they have made this a Parkinson's awareness night there at the ballpark. and are
Nice.
doing a special on-field light event just after the game, and they're
Oh,
going to have
that's
all
cool.
the stadium lights on in the AC hotel with all their blue lights, and so it'll just be a beautiful
That
sight. I
will be
know.
beautiful. And then you also have, is there a class or is there some kind of educational element that's going on during the day Saturday? Am I correct?
That's correct. The Y at it's the Thomas Hannah Y right there near um, Pine Street in Spartanburg is having a Parkinson's Awareness Community Day, and
Oh,
it's going to
nice.
be from 10 until 2. There's going to be
Nice.
community vendors with tables and information, as well as um, classes, just segments, demonstrations, like 15, 20-minute demonstrations of some of these um, exercise uh, teachers and so forth that we have enjoyed being a part of over these last few years.
That is so wonderful. So they'll get to see some demos, they'll get information. It's also just a great way to connect with other people, right? Sometimes when you get a diagnosis like this, you can feel very cut off and alone and like, oh, am I the only
Mhm.
person who's going through this? These are places where you can start to connect with other families, other people who are exploring the same journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's always fun to do something together rather than by
Sure.
yourself.
Yeah.
And I certainly feel that way. And there have been some times I was having some struggles earlier this fall with some of my medication that was causing me, instead of getting better with my medication, I was shaking worse.
Oh,
And so
that's
that usually
frustrating.
fell that I was having to take medication somewhere before, during, or after that my class. And so there have been plenty of times that I was just so shaky. Many of my classmates thought, "Can you even walk downstairs?" And so, believe me, there have been many times and many testimonies of people who watched me looking like I'm about to fall over. But I've had friends there that I call them my bookends,
Mm.
and so one would get on one side, one would get the other, and they would help me get to the car. So I was very thankful for their help in getting downstairs.
Determined to keep moving, right?
That's right. Movement is life.
It
Movement is
is.
life, and it's something I try to translate and communicate to everybody that don't take it for granted.
Mm.
Health is a gift, and I guess
It
that's the other
is.
thing I would say. A lot of this has been wrapped up and centered around a book that was released back last August, and it's
Okay.
called The Parkinson's Plan. It's by two well internationally recognized doctors and researchers in the field of movement disorders, and their names are Dr. Michael Oken down in Florida and Dr. Ray Dorsey in New York. He was at Rochester. And they have written this book, and it's one that I am trying to slowly but surely give copies to. And even I'll give you one, Amy, to
I would
read
love
more
it.
about it. And because they're
Yeah.
learning more about what's causing Parkinson's disease.
Mm.
And it's more, very few people have a genetic cause or component of it. They're showing and they're finding out that a lot of it's the chemicals in our environments
Wow.
that are
That
keeping
that'll
us,
get your attention, won't it?
yeah, that we need to be aware of. It starts with education and awareness. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we won't take our health for granted and we will keep cheering you and anyone else who is in this journey with Parkinson's to just keep moving, keep staying positive, keep trying all the different, I guess you have to experiment, right? It's like a constant sort of evolution of
yeah.
trying, but you are
Hmm.
a real inspiration, Lisa.
And never give up. Never, you
Never.
just keep being determined to never give up.
I love
So,
that. And I want everyone to know we can thank Lisa for getting Spartanburg on the map for this big national and international potentially event with the Spark the Night event this Saturday. Make sure you get out there and take a look at all these beautiful buildings that'll be lit up. And again, if you're at the Burgers game, you're going to find out a lot more there too, which is really exciting.
exactly. So there's a lot of ways to learn about Parkinson's in a one day
I love it.
extravaganza. So
Fantastic. Thanks.
thank you for promoting it,
Oh,
telling
absolutely.
people about it. Yes, we want them
Yeah.
to know what it's all about.
Well, they will know now. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Have a
Take
great
care,
night.
Amy.
Bye,
Okay, good
honey.
night.